Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the All You Need Is Love podcast. If this is your first time watching, welcome. My name is Leah, and this is a knitting podcast. I'm recording just outside of Paris in France, and today is Wednesday, the 29th. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for sticking with me, and thank you to everyone who has been leaving me messages and comments either on the blog or on YouTube. I really appreciate it, so thank you for your support and thank you. So this week on the podcast I have a few new projects, 2 small finished objects, and a little bit of shopping that I did last week. So let's start. It's been about 10 days since the last time I recorded, and it's been a little bit weird knitting wise because I have been feeling like starting a bunch of new projects, but I've also been frogging quite a lot, and sometimes projects don't work out. Maybe the yarn doesn't really go with that particular item you're knitting, or maybe you're not feeling it. I feel like most podcasters don't really show us like what's not working out, but I'm sure it's happening for them too. So for instance, my elk socks, which I showed you in the last 2 episodes, have been frogged last weekend. I had been a bit worried from the beginning about the fit of it because if you've ever knit Fair Isle, then you know that it makes everything a lot tighter and it adds a lot of thickness to your project because of all the strands that are inside of the knitting item. And I did try the sock a lot and they were tight from the beginning, but I liked them so much that I thought it could work. And I was just about to begin the heel last Saturday, and I just looked at them for a long while and then realized and admitted that I had to rip them out because there was just no way I would ever wear them, I think. And even though I really like them and I knew they would be pretty, I still want them to fit me and to be able to wear them because they're a pair of socks. I'm not going to put them on my wall, you know. So I just ripped it all out and put the skeins back in my stash. I don't feel like frogging projects is such a disaster because for me it's not like a waste of time if I'm going to rip back an entire project, because I think I enjoy knitting probably even more than I do enjoy the finished object. So for me it's about the process more than the product, I guess. So even though I frogged the socks, for instance, I don't feel like I wasted my time working on them because I did enjoy it a lot, working on the socks. So you guys, it's okay to frog things. It's not like you're going to waste the yarn, because it's just going to go back to your stash, and at some point in the future you will find the right project to match that yarn. So at least that's the way I think about it, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. So I also started 2 shawls this week and both of them got ripped out. I didn't go very far on them, but the first one was the green one, which I showed you last week, and I think the main issue with that yarn is that I absolutely love it. It's one of my most precious skein, I think, because I adore the color and I just can't quite find the right project for it. So I just put it back in my stash, and I know that at some point in the future I will find just the right shawl and I will work on it again, and I'm going to love the finished object, but it's just not for now. So that was the first shawl I ripped out, And then I started one yesterday. I showed it to you guys on Instagram, and it's very pink. And I think I bought the skeins back in February at a craft fair, and I do love pink, but I don't really wear pink. I think I checked yesterday, and I just have one pink sweater, and that's it. I don't have any pink clothes because it's not my color. So I haven't actually read the shawl. It's on my desk right now, and oops, that's my cat. Sorry. And I'm not quite sure if I'm going to work on it again. Maybe I'll ask my mom if she likes it, and I might knit it for her. Or apparently everyone on my Instagram feed wants that shawl. So I'm not quite sure yet, but I will figure out what to do soon. So that's it for news. I think we're going to move on to my finished objects for the week now. So if you remember last week, I showed you two baby hats that I had been knitting because my sister is expecting a little boy, and I have quite a lot of friends that are also having babies in the next months. So I have been feeling like knitting all the baby projects. And let me tell you that baby projects are really, really cute. I found a lot of them on Ravelry, and a lot of them are free, which is really nice. And I think I'm going to do a roundup of all of my favorites pretty soon on the blog. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, so I made two more hats this week. Those are the two ones I made last week, if you remember. So this one from the Pearl Bee website, and this one I just made up. And so this week I made two more using the exact same yarns. So those are the two hats. This is the first one. So the yarns are, the blue one is Quince & Co Lark in the Belize colorway, and the variegated one is Malabrigo Rios in the Indicita colorway. So it's a very simple hat with a little seed stitch border, and then I just did 2 rows in the blue, 2 rows in the variegated, and so on until the top. And if you compare it to that one, you can tell that this one is a lot more pointy. And if you want to get something that's a little bit rounder, my tip for you is to just do more decreases per round. So this one has 8 decreases every round, while this one has only 6. So I did the same thing on the second hat, which is this one, and I'm pretty sure it's my favorite of the four. So I use the white yarn from Cascade 220 and the Malabrigo in the Indicita colorway, and it's quite a simple pattern. All you do is you alternate between the yarns. So in this one, for instance, I did knit 3, knit 1, knit 3, knit 1, then a row in plain white, and on the second row I did knit 1, knit 1, knit 3, knit 1, and so on until the top, and I finished with just the Malabrigo yarn. So those are all my baby hats, which I'm going to give to my sister at some point. And I really love them. So I think I'm not going to make any more hats for a little while. At least until I buy more yarn, because I'm planning on going shopping next week to get some specific baby yarn. So mostly superwash merino and very soft yarns, so that babies can wear them quite easily. And those are my only finished objects for the week. So let's move on to my works in progress. Works in progress now. So I started a bunch of projects this week, but I'm going to start with one that you've already seen. It's my Battersea top by Valerie Miller, which is a free pattern that you can find it on Ravelry. It's called the Battersea, and then it will link you to her blog where the pattern is. And she first released it as a one size only, but she added a lot more sizes since, so you can probably find one to fit you. You should really check it out. It's a really great pattern and very well written. I haven't had any issues with it, so definitely recommend it. This is my top. As you can see, I have made quite a lot of progress since the last time I showed it to you. So the top of the top has 4 texture stitch. Last time I think I was at the seed stitch one, and since I have added the 2 remaining ones, one is called the parallelogram stitch, and the last one are arrows, and now I'm moved on to the stockinette stitch part. It's a raglan construction, so I already have my 2 sleeves, and I've just picked up the stitches on this one so that I can finish it. I don't know about you, but I'm not the biggest sleeves fan. Usually you spend a lot of time knitting on the body and then you finish it, but you still have 2 sleeves to knit. I don't know, I find sleeves to be quite boring, mostly because it's usually only stockinette on a very small number of stitches that you're doing again and again and again. So I figured that since I just finished a ball of yarn on the top, instead of reattaching it to the body right away, I'm going to make both sleeves. I only have like an inch on each to add in the twisted rib, like at the top, and then I will be done with the sleeves. This way, by the time I finish the body, I will be finished with the entire top and I'll be able to wear it. So I hope that's going to work out. I hope. And in the meantime, I'm really enjoying working on it. The yarn I'm using is the cotton yarn by We Are Knitters in their aquamarine colorway, and it's from my stash, which bonus points, I didn't buy any yarn for it. The pattern calls for worsted weight, so, and the cotton yarn is worsted weight, so that worked quite well. My gauge was a little bit off, but the fit is perfect, so apparently I cast on the right number of stitches. I had to do a little math, but it was really simple, and I'm really enjoying it. Cotton is usually not my favorite because it can be quite heavy, and well, plant-based yarn are usually not quite as elastic as animal fiber. So, but this one it's a lot lighter than some other cottons I have. So, like I said, I've been trying it on, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. It feels like a perfect top for spring. So I'm really excited to finish it so I can wear it, and I think it would look pretty good with either a pair of jeans or even like on top of a spring dress. So that's my first project. The second one is a new pair of socks. So like I said, I frogged my elf socks, but I just can't go on a week without having socks on the needle. So I actually took the same yarn and started a new pair. So those are the 2 skeins. Oops. I'm using the yellow mustard and the white one, and they are both from Drops Fiber, the unicolors. And this is the sock I've been working on. So it's a toe-up pair of socks, but I'm not using any pattern. I'm just making it up as I go, and I'm doing them toe-up using Judy's Magic Cast On, which I think is my new favorite technique. It's really simple to do, and it looks really neat, I think. If you've never done it, there's quite a lot of really good tutorials on YouTube. Even I'm left-handed, so sometimes videos can be a bit complicated for me because I have to reverse the instructions, but I managed to find a tutorial for left-handed for the Judy's Magic Caston, and it was really easy to follow. It's only my second time doing this tour, and I had absolutely no issues with it. So definitely give it a try if you're doing tub socks, because it looks great. So as you can see, the socks are quite simple. I only added a tiny little bit of Fair Isle at the top, very simple, and then I did the rest of the foot in plain white. And I have just started this morning the heel. I'm doing a short row heel, which is my favorite heel at the moment. It's really simple to do, and I have quite a small heel, and apparently the short heel is the perfect fit for me, so I'm sticking with it right now. And my plan for the sock is to add a lot more Fair Isle at the cuff. So I have actually made a little chart, and I'm going to try it out, well, pretty soon, because I'm almost at the cuff. And compared to the Elsk socks, it's okay to have a lot. I feel like it's okay to add a lot of Fair Isle to the cuff, because I don't need it to be quite as stretchy as I need this part, the ankle part and the feet part. So I've been trying this one on, and the fit is perfect, very stretchy. So I know I can do a lot more Fair Isle and still have them fit on my feet really easily and well. So I think it's a good alternative for now for the Elsk socks, and I am really liking them. And I can really tell the difference because when I was working on the Elk socks, I didn't really feel like taking them and adding rows, and I saw them on my desk, but I just wasn't really excited about picking them up. But this one I just can't put down. Obviously, because it's only white here, it went really fast, I think. I mean, I started them yesterday morning, so clearly I've been knitting a lot on them, and I'm really enjoying them. So I think this is all you can tell that a project is working for you. If you're not excited to pick it up, then maybe you should just stop working on it. I mean, don't force yourself or anything. Just work on the project you love. And I am really loving this. So this is my second work in progress. The third one is also new on the needles, and it's another baby project. I got a skein of yarn I'd say last autumn, and I actually won it on a giveaway that was hosted by Claire, and she is the host of the A Night Bird podcast. She lives in Germany, but the podcast is in English because she's originally from England. And she had made a giveaway that I won, which is really cool. And I got this lovely skein of yarn. The brand is Watercolors and Lace in the Summer Skies colorway. As you can see, it's various shades of blue. So it goes from almost white to light blue, deeper blue, and there's also some, it's almost purple or mauve at some parts. And for the last month, I just couldn't figure out what to do with that yarn. I thought it could be a pair of mittens, but I ended up not making them. And I knew I didn't want it to be a shawl because the colors are quite soft. and I didn't feel like it was my colors exactly. And then it just hit me like last week that this yarn needed to be a baby project. The colors are perfect for babies because they're really soft, almost pastel, and I don't know, sometimes you just find the perfect yarn for the perfect project, and it's the best when that happens. So this is what I've been making. It's a newborn cardigan called the Newborn Vertebrae, and it's a free pattern by Kelly Broker, and it's really cute. I mean, who knew babies were so small? I mean, look at it. It's like, if I put it on me, it's for my arm basically. It's a really cute pattern and very simple to follow. It's in stockinette, and it calls for fingering yarn. And the pattern is free, so basically the newborn version is free. And she also has a pattern that includes a baby version, a kid version, and I think an adult version, if you want to make some more of it for the entire family. I'm knitting the newborn version, and I'm planning on giving it to my sister for when my nephew will be born. The pattern is really nice to work on, really simple. So as you can see, you start at the back and you make also the shoulders part, and I have just separated, so I put both the sleeves on scrap yarn, and now I'm working on the rest of the body. I think I can't quite remember how many inches, but I have quite a lot more to go on. Then I will do both sleeves, and finally you add I don't know if you call it a button band because there's not going to be any buttons on it, but you get the idea. And what I really like is that it's not a closed cardigan, so it's going to be open at the front, which I think is really nice because you can wear it like, for the baby can wear it on top of a body, for instance, and so basically you will spit and do baby things on the body, and hopefully the cardigan will remain quite intact. The yarn is superwash because I'm not going to give anything to a baby and then have to tell the parents that they have to hand wash it. I think they would hate me. So even though superwash isn't my favorite, I think it's a perfect fit for baby projects, and I'm really liking it. And one weird thing is that the yarn smells amazing. I don't know if it's something she used to dye it, or if she washed it after, or if it stayed, I don't know, close to candles or essential oils or anything, but the smell is it's amazing. So I don't know, is it weird to sniff yarns? Because I do it all the time. This yarn, I really love it. So thank you so much, Claire, for giving it to me, and I'm so happy that I finally found the right project for it. So that was my third project, and the last one is my long-term project because it's my Mrs. Weasley blanket. So I showed it to you on the first podcast, but this is what it's looking like right now. So it's a bit of a tangle mess. It's getting quite big. It's like a rectangle by now. I think I have maybe, I'm getting close to 30 squares, something like that. I don't really keep track. And this week I have added, I added this row at the top. So all of those squares I added in the last week, and you can see I'm working on a new one, the blue one here, and I am really liking this project. I usually do like 4 squares in a day, and then I won't pick it up for another week and then do 4 more squares or something like that. And I am just loving working on it because you keep changing yarn and using more different fibers, different colors, and seeing it like come together is the best. I think I can already tell that mine is going to have a lot of blues and greens, which is pretty normal because that's the colors I have the most of. And it's quite a special blanket for me because I'm also taking part in a few swaps. So I'm added squares in yarns that people have been sending me. And for instance, this week, this square, which is, I think it's a gorgeous color. It's neither pink nor red, it's somewhere in between, which is usually my favorite type of colors, the ones where you can't really tell. Like, is it blue, is it green, is it yellow, is it orange? And so this one I got from Anna. Anna, she's Gregoria Fibers on Instagram, and her website is gregoriafibers.com. She lives in Germany, but she's from Spain originally, and she has recently started dyeing her own yarn, which is really exciting. So you should check it out for sure. And Anna and I did a swap a few weeks ago, and she sent me a bunch of mini skeins, which I've almost all added to my blanket now. So like for instance, these two ones. So these two ones are from Anna. I really like this one. It's like mauve and light green. It's a really cute color. It's very spring-like. And this one is really special because I am pretty sure that it's unspun, and I don't spin, so I don't have any unspun yarn in my stash, and I haven't ever bought any. So I was really excited to add that square to my blanket. And this week, this one that I just added is also from Anna. And then the other one from this week, this one you maybe recognize it. It's a drops yarn from my water lily. It's really cute. This one is it's Shetland yarn from Jamieson and Smith, which is from my stash. And this one, the orange rust color, is from O Loops. They're Andy Dyer's based in the US, and last November they did a Harry Potter collection, which I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So obviously I had to grab a few skeins, and this one is called Dudley. This one that I just added is Gilderoy Lockhart, and it's a really cute variegated yarn in yellows, pinks, and orange. I think it would really be cute for a baby girl cardigan or baby girl anything. I still have the full skein. I know this type of blankets are supposed to be for scraps, but sometimes I just can't resist, and so I take a full skein, add a little square, and then put the skein back in my stash. Guilty. And I have a third one, which is this one, and it's the Expelliarmus colorway, and I did a pair of socks out of that skein, which I adore. So those are all the squares that I've added this week, and I recently took part in a swap hosted by Christine of the Yarngasm podcast, and so I'm waiting on 2 packages. So hopefully in the coming weeks I'm going to be able to add a lot more new squares to my blanket. And I think it's a really nice project because not only am I going to have a really cool and unique blanket, but it's also, it's full of memories because there's yarns that people have been sending me, and then there's yarn from some of my favorite projects. Like I really love it. We really love it. So those were my works in progress for the week. And now I'm going to show you a few things that I've bought in the last week. I didn't buy any yarn, but I did buy some fabrics. Last Christmas I got a sewing machine because I really want to start making my own clothes, like dresses and tops and skirts, so I can pair them with all the things I've been knitting, I guess. And so I've been gathering fabrics lately, like some cheap ones, and so I can, cut them out and don't regret it if I do any mistakes, and some nicer ones which I'm really excited to turn into projects. So I'm going to show them to you. So I got quite a bunch here. The first one is probably my favorite one. It's it's red and blues, some kind of tartan fabric, and I want it to become like 10 different projects, so I don't know if that's going to work out, but I'm really excited about that one. The second one is a very light fabric, and it's black and white stripes, and I got 3 meters of each, so I can make like dresses with them and pretty much anything. This one I got it like 3 weeks ago, and I adore it. It feels a bit like jeans, but it's cotton with little dots. And this one is going to become a suro dress, which is a pattern by the Direndo company. It's a French design company, clothes design, and they have patterns in both English and French. So even though they're French, you can get them if you don't speak French. And this is a dress, the suro dress, which I really like. Then I have this fabric. I actually got it originally to make a few project bags. It looks kind of blue, but it's green. It's actually green, like light green. And I'm not quite sure what it's going to become. It's quite, it's a thicker fabric than the other ones. So I'm thinking maybe it could be like a skirt, something like that. And the fifth one is this one, and it's cream with tiny blue stripes, and it's going to become a centaur dress, which is this one. It's also from Direndo, and I really like this part, the body part with all the cutting. So I am really excited to sew all that and to give it a try. So this is the shopping I did for this week. Like I said, I'm going to go shopping maybe tomorrow or next week to get some new yarns, which I'm always in the mood for. And hopefully I'm going to give the sewing thing a try this weekend. I do need to wash the fabrics first to see if they shrink, and then I will be ready to go. So really excited about that. And I know this is a knitting podcast, but do let me know what you think about me sharing about sewing as well, because it's crafts, and I like a lot of different crafts. I have a lot of hobbies that involves threads and needles and fabrics and stuff like that, so do let me know if you're into it and if you're interested in me talking about it on the podcast. I've also tried out a new webcam this week, so I would like to also know what you think about the quality and if you can hear me well and basic stuff like that. Feedback is always nice and makes things a lot easier for me. So I think it's all for this week. Thank you so much for everyone who has watched, and do let me know what you think either on the blog freezeframe.blogspot.com or on the YouTube comment section just below the video. Alright, I will see you next week, I think. In the meantime, happy knitting and see you soon. Bye!